Welcome to our channel, where we take you on a journey through history's most fascinating events and figures. Today we set our sights on a figure of monumental significance, Napoleon Bonaparte. Rising from the ashes of the French Revolution, Napoleon seized the reins of power, transforming France into a powerhouse of unrivaled military might. His strategic brilliance on the battlefield was matched only by his insatiable ambition to carve out a vast empire across Europe. His name became a byword for tactical genius, and his exploits continue to captivate historians and strategists alike. This Corsican upstart who became an emperor left an indelible mark on the canvas of history, painting it with the strokes of his victories and defeats. Now brace up as we traverse through the chronicle of Napoleon's conquests. Napoleon's first major conquest was the Italian campaign. This was the stage where the future emperor of France began to demonstrate his strategic brilliance, forever changing the course of European history. In the spring of 1796, a young and largely untested General Bonaparte was given command of the French army of Italy, a ragtag group of soldiers more familiar with hunger and defeat than victory. But with Napoleon at the helm, this was all about to change. Napoleon's strategy was a masterclass in military tactics. He employed what is now known as the strategy of divide and conquer, isolating portions of the enemy forces and defeating them in detail. His innovative use of artillery, not as a mere support weapon, but as a key component of his offensive strategies, revolutionized warfare. Battles such as Montenotte, Lodi, and Arcola showcased Napoleon's deftness in using the terrain to his advantage, and his ability to inspire his men to perform feats of bravery. The Italian campaign also highlighted his skills as a diplomat, as he negotiated with various Italian states, setting them against each other and the Austrians. But these victories were not just about military glory. They had a profound impact on the French Revolution back home. Napoleon's successes in Italy provided the beleaguered French Republic with much-needed funds, alleviating the economic crisis caused by years of war and internal strife. More than that, they gave the French people a new hero, a symbol of hope amid the tumult of the revolution. The Italian campaign was more than a series of battles. It was a turning point in the French Revolution and a stepping stone in Napoleon's rise to power. Each victory brought him not just territory, but influence and prestige. After a series of victories, Napoleon emerged as a hero of the French Republic, setting the stage for his future campaigns. His success in Italy was a portent of things to come, a glimpse of the military genius that would soon shake the world. Napoleon then set his eyes on the East, with the Egyptian campaign. This ambitious endeavor was launched in the late 18th century, with a clear intention of disrupting British trade routes to India. It was a strategic move, aimed at weakening Britain's stronghold and establishing a French presence in the region. Egypt, at the time, was an Ottoman province. Napoleon, with his grand army, embarked on this daring expedition, crossing the Mediterranean Sea. His arrival in Egypt was marked by the Battle of the Pyramids. Despite the name, the pyramids were miles away from the actual battlefield. Yet the victory at this battle was a testament to Napoleon's superior tactics and the formidable might of his army. The Egyptian Mamluks, although fierce and valiant, were no match for the disciplined French forces. However, the Egyptian campaign was not all about triumphant battles. The Battle of the Nile, also known as the Battle of Aboukir Bay, was a significant naval confrontation where the French fleet met a crushing defeat. The British Royal Navy, under the command of Admiral Horatio Nelson, decimated the French fleet, cutting off Napoleon's communication and supply lines. It was a crippling blow, changing the course of the campaign. Napoleon's dream of disrupting British trade routes and establishing a French stronghold in Egypt did not materialize as he had envisioned. The Egyptian expedition, marked by military successes and failures, also had profound cultural impacts. It sparked a new wave of Egyptomania in Europe and led to significant archaeological discoveries, including the Rosetta Stone. However, in terms of the strategic goals, the campaign was largely a failure. The British maintained their trade routes, and Napoleon was forced to abandon his army in Egypt and return to France. Yet this setback did not quell his ambitions. He continued to rise in power, proving that even in defeat, there were lessons to be learned and victories to be won. Although the Egyptian campaign was not a success, it did not deter Napoleon from his ambition. The saga of Napoleon's conquests was far from over, as he would soon turn his gaze towards the vast expanses of Europe. Napoleon then turned his focus back to Europe, launching campaigns across the continent. His strategic brilliance and audacious spirit were about to be tested on a grand scale in the crucible of continental warfare. First, Napoleon set his sights on Austria, initiating what would become known as the Austrian campaign. His forces clashed with the Austrians in a series of battles, with the Battle of Austerlitz standing out as a shining example of Napoleon's military genius. Outnumbered but never outmaneuvered, Napoleon's Grande Armée delivered a crushing blow, effectively breaking the Austrian resistance and leading to the Treaty of Pressburg. This marked a significant expansion of the French Empire and a major shift in the balance of power in Europe. But Napoleon was far from finished. His next target was Prussia. The Prussian campaign was swift and brutal. The decisive Battle of Jena-Auerstedt, where Napoleon's forces defeated a larger Prussian army, was a clear demonstration of his ability to use speed and surprise to his advantage. The capitulation of Prussia further expanded Napoleon's sphere of influence, making him the master of Western and Central Europe. Yet, the Russian campaign proved to be the greatest challenge. Napoleon's invasion of Russia was marked by the Battle of Borodino, one of the bloodiest single-day battles of the Napoleonic Wars. Despite a claimed victory, the campaign took a heavy toll on his Grande Armée. The harsh Russian winter and the scorched earth tactics employed by the Russians proved to be a formidable adversary. Through these campaigns, Napoleon demonstrated his tactical acumen, his ability to inspire his men, and his relentless ambition. He reshaped the political landscape of Europe, redrawing borders and installing his family and loyalists in positions of power. These campaigns further solidified Napoleon's dominance in Europe, marking the height of his power. But as the saying goes, pride comes before a fall. This was true for Napoleon. Napoleon, at the height of his power, made a fatal mistake. He invaded Russia in the summer of 1812 with the biggest army Europe had ever seen, yet he was unprepared for the brutal Russian winter. His grand army was decimated, leading to a massive loss of life and a severe blow to French military might. This was the beginning of the end for Napoleon. His defeat in Russia was a turning point. The European powers, sensing weakness, formed alliances against him. 2 years later, the Battle of Leipzig saw his forces decisively beaten. Despite a brief comeback, his fate was sealed at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, where he suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of the Seventh Coalition. Napoleon was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena, where he lived out the rest of his days. Napoleon's reign ended, but his impact on Europe and the world is undeniable. We have journeyed through the conquests of one of history's most notable figures, Napoleon Bonaparte. We've retraced his steps from the rolling hills of Italy, across the scorching deserts of Egypt, to the various battlefields of Europe. We've witnessed his military genius, the innovative strategies that outsmarted his enemies, and the relentless ambition that propelled him towards victory after victory. His campaigns, often marked by audacity and sheer brilliance, reshaped the political landscape of Europe, leaving an indelible mark on history. Yet we've also seen his downfall, a poignant reminder that even the greatest of empires can crumble. His story serves as a testament to the complex interplay of power, ambition, and the unforgiving tide of history. As we conclude this journey, let's remember Napoleon not just as a conqueror, but as a man who, for better or worse, shaped the course of European history. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. Don't forget to subscribe and share our videos for more insightful content. Until next time, keep exploring history with us.